Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick Barry, the boater. We are your crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information today. And we are joined by a special guest to help us kick off today's virtual cruise through that information. Her name is Shannon. She's from a new social media app for boaters called Aflote. You can check it out, Aflote.
Aflote. He did it. You knew he would do that.
It is aflote.app. We'll fix that in post, Shannon. So regardless, welcome to the world of boating. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Yes, it's aflote.app. Check it out online. New social media app that you developed for boaters, obviously. So first, before we get into the details of what this app is, what it does and what makes it different and unique for boaters that want to socialize amongst themselves, what is your boating background? Tell us.
It started rather sporadically. I was about 9 years old, and my dad just came home with a 26-foot McGregor and parked it in the driveway. My mom had no idea that he was even going out to purchase it, and we started sailing around Lake Ontario, and then eventually starting to trailer it down to South Florida and the Keys.
Now, wait a minute. Wait. Your dad found this boat. He purchased it without his wife's knowledge, and you're still together to this day?
Yeah,
wow.
They're still together.
That's
happily
impressive.
Married.
Wow. Barry, what do you think?
Greg, how do you think most boats are purchased? Do you
without the spouse's knowledge? Gosh.
Otherwise, we would sell 0 boats.
Okay.
That's true.
All right. Yeah, what do you think, Barry?
Well, I did tell my wife I was going up to purchase the boat, and I brought my son with me. So
yeah,
she sort of knew already.
She sort of knew and said, "Hey, don't be surprised if the locks have been changed when you come back to the house."
Well, luckily she didn't know how to change the garage lock. So
okay,
I was able to get the
all
boat
right.
in there.
Well, that's impressive. So obviously, you grew up in a boating family. It sounds like then, right? So that planted the seed, right, Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every March break, we were down sailing around. Am I going to say this right? Bihi Honda, the Keys, Marathon, Key Largo, and going out to all the major snorkeling areas and diving in and having experiences that the tourists really couldn't have.
There you
go.
go.
So wait, that boat lived down here, or did it live up there?
Trailer it or what?
It was. Yeah, it was trailerable.
Okay.
It was I think the largest sailboat that you could trailer was the 26 McGregor.
All right.
That is big.
So, but when you trailered it down, it was from where again? Where you grew up? Where did you grow up doing this?
So Ontario,
okay.
Mississauga, Ontario, which is a suburb of Toronto.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a haul. But you did it every spring, got out of the Great White North, took the boat down and enjoyed some, Florida boating adventures. And so you kind of had that background as growing up in a boating family. Now you reside in Las Vegas. And that has kind of just been like in the back of your mind. Like, have you been doing this ever since with the family? Like you guys get together every spring and do some boating or what?
Absolutely. Every summer we're up in Georgian Bay. I try and get at least a couple weeks on the boat every summer, depending on what my work schedule looks like.
Right.
So I still sail with them, but I have a ton of other boater friends, that I've kept in touch with, and anytime I can get out with them, it's definitely a treat. So as much as I can, I'm out on the water, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, in between slot machines and stage shows and things, what are you out on Lake Mead there in the Vegas area or what?
Yeah, I just bought a paddleboard actually, so I'm looking to get out tomorrow. So very excited to get back out on the water.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love the way she said tomorrow. Right? That was a Canadian thing, wasn't it? I think I heard that, but that's all good.
You are a paddleboarder, and with your experience in boating going back quite a while, you are planning on wearing some kind of a PFD, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now Patrick feels a lot better.
She's gonna just strap the paddleboard to her back. I mean that works too, doesn't it, Patrick?
No, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
you frequently see people out paddleboarding and they've got no type of PFD, and Lake Mead being as busy as it is with power boats, the opportunity to getting tossed off your paddleboard, or if you're in a kayak, something like that. It's just I figured as much that she would be prudent in wearing the proper
All right,
flotation
Shannon,
device.
if you haven't figured it out already, Captain Patrick is kind of like the buzzkill member of the World of Boating crew.
No, he just likes to see him come back alive.
Well, okay. I guess you could look at it that way,
Barry.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, him and I have that in common. I grew
What?
up also as a lifeguard and teaching, lifeguarding techniques to other people. So I'm also a big advocate for safety.
Okay. All right. Well, there. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. They see eye to eye. First time ever. First time for everything, I guess. All right. So Shannon has this new app, Aflote. You can check it out, aflote.app, and look it up, and then you can download it. It's for your iPhone, Android phone. You can download the app, and what does it do exactly, Shannon?
Absolutely. So it is the first of its kind. It is for anybody out on the water. So whether you jet ski, paddleboard, sail, motorboat, all that, we want to be able to connect people on the water and kind of create a new form of discovery for people that's kind of outside of the normal format for social media, where you're just getting content constantly served to you. What we want to do is encourage people to use the map for discovery. So you, just like you would open your Google Maps, you would open up your actual aflote map, and you'll be actually able to see all of the different boaters in your area. You can click on them, see their profile, directly message them. So tons of different organic interactions could come from this type of format. If you want to see ahead to maybe the anchorage that you're going to, you can, message ahead to another boat that's in there, ask, what the weather's like, how's your hook holding, how many boats are in there. Or if you're nomadic or a new boater and you want to learn about boating etiquette, which will be part of the app, or you just want to find out new points of interest, this will be very valuable for nomadic and new boaters as well.
And nomadic, that addresses the fans of Vikings.
No, it's the transient nature of boating.
Oh, right. Exactly. I'm just spelling that out. All right. Well, I would imagine like weekend boaters, weekend warriors that we have down here in Florida, for instance, that like to hang out at a sandbar on a Saturday or Sunday. This would be an ideal application to have, kind of get a preview of what to expect when you get out there, like how many boats are anchored out and that kind of stuff. That's what you've developed this for, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And actually to piggyback on what you're just saying, there's a lot of jet skiers I know that are out in Destin, Florida, that like to plan these sandbar parties. And we're actually going to be launching events, notifications, and creation within the app as well. So there'll be that. There'll be anchorage reviews. There'll be provisioning information for people that, are going from port to port, long hauls, that kind of thing.
Got it. So it sounds to me like this is like a narrow version, a better version of Facebook for boaters, because you won't be bombarded with like, hey, check out what I had for dinner and stuff like those kind of goofy
and
pictures.
Political ads and all of the other things that are coming up now that really don't foster social connectedness anymore. It's not so much social media as it's social feedia, where you're just constantly getting contact. You're being bombarded, and it's no longer about user discovery.
Yeah. And the feedia part, when you just see like, hey, check out this meal I had. Here's my lunch. Here's my breakfast. I'm like, I don't know why they started that trend, but boy, what a turnoff.
Well, Greg shows it both ways, before he eats it and after he gives it.
Oh, quiet, Barry. It's not inappropriate.
That's true.
All right. So anyway, so you just saw this need for the boating community and figured, hey, I got the technical know-how to make it happen. I'll put it together and put it out there. So the app is live now, or getting ready to go live, or what? Where is it at?
Well, we'll be live in 2 months. We do have our splash page up, which is the you can kind of see it behind me, the aflote.app. If you just type that into your URL, you'll be able to sign up for early access. And we are going to be including some early access people in our beta testing, because the whole reason this came about is I started talking to people in the boating world and, saw this gap and kind of what problems we needed to solve and make better. So the more people that sign up for early access, the better we're going to make the app.
I like it.
So very excited about that.
So Barry can get it on his phone. Patrick can do the same. Mike the Mariner, who's not here today, or Rusty. I've already alerted them to this new app that's about to launch. Once again, aflote.app is where you can go to check out the information on the web and then get access to possibly being a beta tester, right? That's what you're looking for right now.
Yes, absolutely. What we're looking for right now.
This is a good place to announce that element. Some folks listening today may want to participate and help Shannon out. Sounds like a great effort, Shannon. Hats off to you, and maybe we'll have to do some more stuff in the future. That sound good?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, there you go. Aloft.app. Check it out. We got more coming up on the World of Boating.
You're listening to the World of
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry the boater, rounding out the crew. Our special guest, Shannon, from Aloft, a brand new social media app.
Four times.
Aloft is where she is above the rest of our crew, but her app is called Aflote, and you check it out, aflote.app.
Wow.
You might want to just get Aloft as well, Shannon, just to be.
I might have to after this interview.
Actually, that could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick,
See,
get that website before it disappears. I had a couple questions.
she floats above the rest of us.
Well,
okay, go ahead, Barry.
What you
Go.
need to do, Shannon, is Aloft will be for Greg's aircraft plane show.
That's
he
right.
does.
That's right.
She could do a
Perfect.
social media app for Just Plain
For
Radio.
pilots.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. All right, Barry, what do you got?
So you were talking about how you have this app where you can actually, I guess, see other people that have the app on it. They show up as little flags or something like that. So if you
Little
wanted to
boats,
do-
Barry, it would
little
make
boats.
sense.
Well, it could be. So if you wanted to get a group of people together, I guess you can use this to see who's arrived, who hasn't arrived, or where you're located.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. What we are looking at including is different filters, right? Because when I talked about this being for watercraft owners, you know, if you're a sailboater and you want to meet other sailboaters, you want to be able to filter just to sailboaters within the map, and then, you know, further filter down to just your friends and find out where they are.
Right.
So they would have a special code or something that you would just type in. You'd list them as a friend or.
Yeah, it would be no different than how you see the icons when they appear in your Waze or your Google Maps, where, you know, there's a different icon for a hotel as versus a restaurant, right? And then the other functionality that we're including, and this was this actually came from my dad, because he told me that, you know, when they get into an anchorage and if they're having kind of a party day, he'll actually raise a flag that says, hey, we're partying, you know, feel free to, you know, bring a bottle of wine, come on by. So we want to digitize that experience as well to let people, so boaters can let other people know they're social. Maybe they want privacy, but maybe they want to party as well. So there'll be ways to do that within it.
Okay. These filters, are you talking about the kind that, you know, when I get a call from Barry, he shows up on my phone as a poop emoji? Or...
Thank you.
We'll make Barry a poop emoji immediately in the app.
Thank you. Remember,
Okay.
the app is Aflote, not Aloft.
Yeah.
No, Barry's emoji in the app has got to be the red watch cap.
The red watch. That's right.
Okay.
That's
All
it.
right.
I love it.
Yeah. What do you think, Barry? Well, Patrick, what about you? Would you participate in such a thing? Because you're very antisocial. And so I don't know if this is your cup of tea, but
Well,
would
the
you?
fact that I don't like you does not make me antisocial.
Yeah, it does.
Barry, am I antisocial?
No.
Okay. So there you go.
So the answer is, would you use it? Would you? Do you see a
I
need
would.
for something
I
like
would,
this?
especially if
Yeah.
you know, if I'm running boats up and down the coast, things like that. Although I would say in my official capacity for work, I would never be looking to partay, you know, on a customer's $1 million boat. But it'd be nice to know where those areas are so I could avoid them.
Well, hey, you know, if you need like a tag, like you were saying, you'd raise a flag that, hey, I want to party, come on over, bring some, you know, chips and dip or whatever, or you want your privacy, right? Maybe that flag could just be a picture of Captain Patrick. Like, leave me alone. I'm a crotchety old captain.
Chips and dips. What are you, 9 years old?
I
do you
like
mean?
the idea that I don't know how much of this you're going to be able to get, but if you get a lot of these companies that are on the water that either have fuel, that have provisions, that have restaurants and all that, so that if you driving, you know, you're going down the intercoastal and you want to look for a restaurant, if you put your pointer over it, would it pop up with information about it? and a telephone number, what would it do?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to have all waterfront establishments on here as well. The other thing we want to do is give boaters an opportunity to mark points of interest for new boaters and other boaters, or just to remind themselves of, where they've been and why they like it, which wouldn't be dissimilar from, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Airbnb or ever used that functionality, but as soon as you leave one of these Airbnb hosted establishments, you're prompted to kind of leave a review about what was good about it, what was bad about it. So if you think about that and transferring that into the boating world, that could be about provisioning locations, or that could be about anchorages. Like, did your hook hold well? Could you tie off to shore? Is there a small beach to play for kids? Is there cool hiking trails? So that will be a part of it. And to going back to like Patrick's thing about the privacy, if you think about it, if you're a private sailor, you can browse the app completely incognito, which will be a function, and you can see that, oh, there's a lot of boats in that anchorage. I don't want to go over there. I'm going to go over to this anchorage where there's no boats. So there will be like something for everybody, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I like it. And I assume people will be able to use this. Is it going to be a free thing on the app? But you're going to make a few bucks maybe by having sponsorships for restaurants and things like that. That's kind of how the revenue stream works on this. Does that make sense, Shannon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in non-disruptive revenue when it comes to apps. I don't want to make this like expensive for anybody. It's going to be a free app. The people that are going to have to pay for it are the people who want to, actually have maybe their logo pop up in the map, kind of like Waze, right? Intrinsic advertising, not big banner ads that are going to be extremely disruptive to the experience. I don't like that. I don't like seeing in other apps that I use.
Yeah, and seeing as how there are absolutely zero boaters out there that have egos, I could see a ton of people paying to have their, the name of their boat, or a picture of their boat, whatever it is. That's a veritable gold mine. I do have a question regarding a safe. I don't know if you're tying this in. Is the app going to be tied into the USCG in any way, shape, or form? Any type of alerts that a boater's in distress, be on the lookout? Because you will have boaters out there that don't have a VHF, even a handheld. Is there anything on the app that you're planning on having that type of feature?
Yeah, that's a great question. And absolutely. One of the things that we're going to do, just like how you can mark your boat that you're in part of your privacy mode, we want people to be able to mark a pan or a mayday, and actually write in and say, hey, we have engine trouble, we have this. I mean, with the disclaimer of aflote is not going to be your first line of defense. Please contact your local Coast Guard first. But, how great would that be if this community, was helping each other out, and somebody that was on the Aflote app could go out and help somebody who's, engine trouble or whatever it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, you put a little announcement out. Hey, I'm low on hot dogs. If you're heading this way, drop off
I could see a little
dozen.
picture of a boat with flames coming out of it saying help needed. That would get their attention.
Okay. Yeah. But once again, you can check it out, aflote.app. It's online right now. It's in beta testing, looking for beta testers. Shannon, thanks for being on the World of Boating today. We appreciate the update and wish you all the success in the world, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Shannon.
We got more coming up on the World of Boating.